Today on CCX News, a divided House. The results of Tuesday's election now leading to an unusual outcome. Following recounts, Tuesday's election could bring an unlikely scenario in the Minnesota House of Representatives, a 67-67 tie. The last time the House had an equal number of Republicans and DFLers was in 1979. Dylan Cleveland spoke to a former Crystal lawmaker who served in the House during that time for some perspective on what a tie could mean for the upcoming session.
At the state capitol this week, legislative leaders on both sides of the aisle tried to make sense of Tuesday night's results.
We are at a 67-67 tie in the Minnesota House of Representatives. When we talked about balance, we wanted a little bit more than that. I will be fully honest with you.
Minnesotans certainly sent us a tied Minnesota House. So what they are asking us to do is to work together and be productive. And we are fully prepared to do that.
The last time there was a tie in the House was in 1979.
That was the only time we were tied. And I think that was the only time until now in state history.
Former DFL Representative Lyndon Carlson of Crystal was there for it.
I was on the negotiating team because then you had to figure out a way to share power.
Sharing power is something current House members will have to figure out, because there can't be two House speakers. In '79, Carlson said it took them several weeks to come up with a plan.
And our offer was that we'll give you the speakership in exchange for having a one-vote majority on the Rules Committee. And the other caucus accepted that.
At the Capitol, Hortman was lukewarm on that historical precedent.
The model that the Minnesota legislature adopted, the Minnesota House adopted in '79 seems a bit archaic, seems like it's not really a fit for modern times.
So how this all plays out remains to be seen. Carlson, however, predicts that because this is a budget year, the two sides will find ways to work together.
And in the end, you do have to govern. And that will in and of itself drive some compromise.
Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Maple Grove announced a major land deal Thursday, one that would allow Lifetime to build a new state-of-the-art fitness club while letting the city broaden its community center expansion plans. The community center is currently undergoing improvements, including construction on a third sheet of ice. The center adjoins the Lifetime Fitness Club. Under the deal, the city would take over ownership of the Lifetime building. In exchange, Maple Grove will secure land near Maple Grove Hospital to help Lifetime build a new club and help the city pursue other development opportunities. The plans are expected to be reviewed by the city's planning commission at the end of the month and approved by the city council at a meeting December 2nd. Meanwhile, a Crystal coffee shop is picking up the pieces after an accident Sunday night. I explain how the community is responding.
I know you want a mocha, right, for you?
Early mornings call for a pick-me-up. For many,
The 13, 18.
Bella's Shopping Crystal answers that call.
We had the idea to open a coffee shop, but with a bakery included in it, so it's like a fresh baked stuff.
Jamie Frutas owns the business with his wife, Ashley. They serve a variety of homemade sweets with the coffee drinks, and the shop's name is special.
My daughter's name's Bella.
Business ran smoothly for the last 2 years, until late Sunday night when a driver swerved into their Douglas Drive storefront.
We received a call around midnight, and it was the police saying that a car crashed into the front of the building.
When the police arrived, that vehicle was gone, and shattered glass was in its place.
I don't know. I couldn't believe that actually was happening to us.
The next day, the Frutases still opened their doors. One neighbor and longtime friend of the business, Jennifer Osseo, wants to make sure they continue to thrive, even with a boarded-up storefront.
Now I think I practically live here more than at my house.
Osseo is asking her fellow neighbors to stop by and chip in.
To me, this coffee shop is really being kind of a part of our community, and I've worked really hard with them. I want to keep making it part of our community.
Hot mocha?
And neighbors are responding,
Sounds good.
doing what they can to keep it there.
Thank you.
Now answering their call to help pick up the pieces. You can visit Bella's anytime near the corner of 36th and Douglas and Crystal. Meanwhile, police are still looking for the driver of a Jeep with damage on the front end. You can help. If you know anything, contact the Crystal Police Department. Volunteers and the city of Plymouth served breakfast this week to those who served our country. As Kevin Miller reports, it meant more than just a free meal.
I'll take your order.
Oh, I'm going to do the avocado egg white sandwich.
The food brought them here,
Here's your sandwich.
but they stuck around
Thank you for serving. And which branch were you at?
I was in the Army.
for the conversations and the memories.
Believe it or not, I joined the Navy and I got stationed in the desert. I was in Oregon at a bombing range.
Well, I greatly appreciate your service here, and I'm glad that you made it back okay.
Each veteran came to this Plymouth drive-through breakfast reflecting on a past life.
This is me when I went in the Army, 1955, a few years ago. I was lucky I didn't get shot at.
Many brought a story of sacrifice.
It's a job that must be done. We need to defend ourselves, and I was very happy to do it.
Oh, you got your son's stuff on. I've got my son's stuff on, yeah. Thank you so much for your service.
Volunteer coordinator Jackie Moss brought her family stories.
It's also personally important to me. Wow, look at this. My father served in World War II, and my son is currently active duty in the United States Space Force.
She wanted to offer long-missing recognition for people like her son.
Many of them have told us that when they came home from Vietnam, nobody thanked them. And so the fact that we are honoring them today, here's your coffee, is so important.
In Plymouth, Kevin Miller.
You deserve it. I deserve it. You do. I appreciate it.
CCX News.
Thank you for your service.
Veterans Day is Monday, November 11th.